welcome back to Everything's Funny at 3 a.m. Cat Lady, I believe we're on part 21 now. We're gonna have a drink with Mitzi.
I found some wine glasses.
All right, that's all we need. Oh, and Miss
Hooray!
Ashworth, I really must say this before we start.
Yeah?
I promise I won't.
Am I too close to your face right now?
Very funny, Mitzi.
Oh no, I mean it.
That's fine. But just so you know, I always sleep with my eyes open.
Oh, girls. Too silly. So, the big C, you want to talk about it? Oh, it's not raining anymore. How are you planning to find this guy? Let's, I don't think we should just talk about her cancer so casually like that. Oh, it could be funny, I guess. Let's see, let's just make small talk first.
It's not raining anymore.
Oh well, I don't mind rain. Sometimes I even like it.
Me too, Mitzi.
But
I like
according to
rain.
weather forecast, there's a nasty fog coming. Now that's I'm actually scared of. I got lost in a fog once, when I was just 9 or 10. I remember I sat under a tree crying, thinking some monster would appear right in front of me and drag me away.
But now that you're a big girl, you know there are no monsters.
Didn't help that her dad read her the Mist every night before bed.
How do you know?
The only monsters are us. Murderers, rapists, arsonists. They're the real beasts. So far from humanity, they're no longer capable of feeling compassion
Susan is so
or
intense.
guilt. They're the ones we should really be afraid of. But whether they're lurking in the woods, or fog, or the darkness of our cellars, it's all irrelevant. You can't predict what happens. You can't do anything to stop it. There is only one way. You turn into a beast yourself, and like them, you show no mercy.
Like the Cobra
Oh,
Kai.
where did that come from, Miss Ashworth?
I just don't like murderers. They're nothing but parasites.
Yeah, maybe we should just relax. Fuck it.
So, the big C. Want to talk about it?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really want to tell you about it like that. I put you in a very difficult position, I know. It's just that I was really desperate to get this room. I hope you can understand. This is the last and most important thing I must do before my time is up.
I get
It's
it,
fine.
man.
You seem alright. It's just... I find it hard to trust people these days. Maybe it's time I opened my eyes to see others have problems too. Some, like yourself, even bigger than mine. What kind of cancer is it? Do you mind me asking?
The bad kind.
Brain tumor.
Oh,
The name is glioblastoma.
that is the bad kind. Bad kind.
Huh.
Yep, they're all girls, the way I imagine it. Just look at their names. Lymphoma, melanoma, myeloma, leukemia, sarcoma. Each of them a fucking goddess of death. Beautiful and ruthless.
Nice.
You might just be right about that, Mitzi. I used to be a nurse. I know a few things about cancer. And I know glioblastoma. She's a real bitch.
Yeah, and yet she gets to be the
She's
prom
awful
queen
at
before night
parties.
ends.
Has
While
to
I
be the
disappear
center
down
of
the back
attention.
exit.
She has a little too much
How
drink.
long?
Goes off on everyone.
They said I had a year. But that was 6 months ago, so... yeah. Not awfully long.
Is there anything...
They've tried.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So am I. Do you want to talk about something else?
Yes, please.
How are you planning to find this guy?
I don't know yet. A bit of detective work, perhaps. It shouldn't be that hard, really. There are only 8 apartments here. One is yours. That leaves us with 7. I was hoping that you could give me a hand, actually. You know some of your neighbors, don't you?
Oh, I know one of them.
Not many. I never really cared about them. They changed over the years, too. You probably also figured by now that this is not the sort of place where new neighbors are greeted with a freshly baked cake. You see a new face, you give them a blank stare as you pass them in the hall, and you forget about them a minute later.
That bad, eh?
Well,
Sounds
there's
like the
that Baww guy
perfect
who lives
place to
above me
live.
in flat 5. He came here recently to shout in my face. He's a nasty piece of work,
I
but
told the
I really
fuck
don't
right
think
off.
he's the person you're looking for.
What does he do for a living?
I think he's a train driver.
Okay. I don't think he
I
told
can't
us.
imagine somehow that my guy would be a train driver. Okay, that's good. Leaves us with
Oh,
just
so
6.
it's not him then.
Anyone else you know?
I'd have to think.
You know, maybe not tonight. Let's just talk about something else, okay? I have plenty of time. There's no need to rush this. Maybe tomorrow we could sit down together and make a plan. I could draw a simple map of the building, and with your help, mark down who lives where.
Sounds good to me, Mitzi. You mentioned a boyfriend. Tell
Now
me
we're
something
doing girl
about him.
talk.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about him. His name's Jack. He's dead.
Oh,
Miss Ashworth, are you sure you want to listen about my miserable life?
Of course he is.
I don't want to bring you down. These aren't happy stories.
Oh,
and
don't
I'm
worry.
not a happy stories kind of person. I'm sure you've noticed by now.
I guess so. Anyway, I suppose I would have had to tell you about Jack sooner or later. After all, he is the main reason I'm here. I just don't know where to start.
Tell me how you two met. How did you take the news about your cancer? Jack made those pictures on your wall. Was he an artist? How did he die? Let's just go
Tell me
through
how
all
you
these, I
two
guess.
met.
Oh, we knew each other for like forever. We grew up on the same street. It's funny how we seem to be made for each other. Perfect match. I always knew he was the guy for me, and I'm sure he never doubted that either. Jack was absolutely crazy about me. We thought one day we would marry, have children, be happy. I never had many friends because I had Jack. I didn't need anybody else.
Codependency.
You know, if there's one thing I'm really grateful for in my life, it's that I got to experience this pure, perfect love. Some people go through a lifetime without knowing how it feels. I guess I've been very lucky. But all luck runs out sometimes.
Especially in the world of the cat lady.
How did he take the news about your cancer?
He thought I was joking at first. He laughed. And he got really angry. I swore to him I was serious, but he still wouldn't believe me. We had a big fight that night. It was our first and only fight. It was awful. He smashed some stuff. His guitar, of all things, was the worst. He loved that guitar. Why did he break it? He was absolutely furious. He walked out on me that night, and when he came back the next day, he was different. He begged me to try surgery and chemotherapy. I didn't really want those things, but I did the chemo for him. He didn't know.
This is making
Just
me
being
yawn.
sick all the time.
I want to go back
I
and
felt
kill
trapped
those
in this
people.
strange place where nothing that happened around me seemed real. Maybe that's why I didn't see what my cancer was doing to Jack, and it was destroying him as well. He changed.
You know, this
He became
kind of
obsessed
sounds
with
like
death.
Susan's parents.
It seemed death was all he ever
Interesting.
thought about, even though it was me, not him, who was supposed to die.
Jack made those pictures on your wall. Was he an artist?
He always liked all kinds of morbid stuff, whether it was music, movies, paintings. So do I, really. We had that in common, amongst other things. People say it's depressing to listen to sad songs or watch sad films. but I never felt that way.
And yet, you are scared of fog?
Oh, that's different.
Hmm.
I might be scared of fog, but I like spiders. They're beautiful.
You must be out of your mind, Mitzi.
No, honestly, there's a certain indescribable
Yeah, have you ever sliced open a
beauty in
giant
silence.
spider heart to
Just
get
like there's beauty in the grey and ugly winter morning when
narcotic
you look past
blood
the
from it?
obvious and notice what others can't see.
You must love my apartment then. It's like ugly took a vacation here and never went home again. How did he die? How did Jack die?
I'm so ready to get past this part already. It's like, it's good to know about Mitzi's background. I feel bad for her, you know, but
So distant.
everybody's
lost
got
in
their
this
sad story in this fucking game.
before he died. What I didn't know was that he kept looking for something. I don't think he even knew what exactly. But it eventually found him. Or rather, he found him.
Yeah, somebody killed Jack,
There are
right?
those forums online, you know, about all sorts of stuff. Fishing, computer games, horses, gambling, addictions. Everything, really. Accidentally, Jack stumbled upon one about suicide.
Hmm.
There's a guy there. Calls himself the Eye of Adam. He's a fucking god on that forum.
The Eye
It's
of
like a
Adam.
failed suicide club. People mostly try to help each other and offer support. Sometimes it just helps to know there are others like you. To listen to their stories and how they cope with their lives. But the Eye of Adam is an advocate of death. He dwells on human weakness. His job is to plant an idea, to give them a reason to die and tell them how to do it, once and for good.
Hmm. Sounds like an
Jack
episode of
failed.
Law and Order or something.
Before he knew, he was completely brainwashed. One day he sat down with me and tried to explain his perfect solution. It was the Romeo and Juliet kind of scenario. We were both to die together in each other's arms. It was supposed to be a quick and foolproof death. There was no chance we would have been saved. All thanks to the Eye of Adam, who created a tool for perfect suicide. He told me it was very simple. All we needed were two easily accessible household chemicals, which combined together create a gas called hydrogen sulfide that kills you within a couple of minutes. I told him he was fucking nuts, of course, but he just wouldn't give up. He reasoned with me, then he begged, and eventually just kept screaming at me. I figured it was his crazy idea of a modern romance, but it was downright tacky and just wrong.
I like how Susan's just still smoking her cigarette,
Finally,
like, oh, okay, yeah,
He said he would get everything ready and wait for me in our special place at dawn. 5 in the morning. Don't be late. Those were his last words he said to me. Then he stormed out. I cried for hours, thinking I didn't deserve all that from the person I loved most in the whole world. A few times I even tried to persuade myself that maybe he was right and I should do it. I just couldn't. I eventually fell asleep. I didn't plan it. My head was killing me. I was so tired. I woke up suddenly. I could see the sun rising out my window. It was nearly 5. In utter panic, I threw myself off the bed and ran out the door. I needed to stop him. I needed to get there before it was too late. But right there in my bedroom, before I even left, I already knew it was. When I arrived at our special place, it was already bright. We used to go there in the past, drink wine, sometimes smoke weed and listen to Pink Floyd, sometimes make love in Jack's car. There wasn't really anything special about that old parking lot. But else there was. It was completely abandoned. It was quiet. It was safe. After that day, I've never gone there again.
Oh, jeez, alright. Kind of zoned out there. Looks like we got something that's actually going to happen here, and we'll do that in the next part of the cat lady, and we'll see you then.